The Anaheim Ducks traded away one of the bigger forwards at the NHL trade deadline, but are they happy with the deal? Jason Hernandez of Locked On Ducks joins us to talk about that next on Locked On's 2024 NHL trade deadline special.
The Locked On Podcast Network presents the NHL trade deadline.
Gil Martin here. The Anaheim Ducks and Edmonton Oilers have made a big trade a couple of days before the trade deadline. Anaheim sending Adam Henrique and Sam Carrick along with a 7th-round pick to Edmonton. In exchange, they get a 1st-round pick and a 5th-round pick. Jason Hernandez of Locked On Ducks is with us. Jason, are you happy with this deal? Did they get enough in exchange for Henrique and Carrick?
I will answer the first question. I'm happy with this deal that the Ducks did get a 1st-round pick. The Edmonton Oilers aren't one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the standings. So this could wind up being an early 20s to mid-20s pick, which is a very good thing. So Pat Verbeek did it again. As far as what this does for the Ducks in the future, honestly, they need all the 1st-round picks they can get right now. I mean, the Ducks, let's face it, they're in the midst of a solid rebuild right now. I think Ducks fans were hoping that this year would be the one that they would take a step forward, especially after last season's last place finish. So we were kind of expecting the Ducks to at least contend for a playoff spot. But as we've seen this season, they're 3rd from last in the entire NHL once again. So honestly, they need all the picks that they can get.
Who now gets an opportunity to step up with Henrique and Carrick no longer in the lineup?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. So without those two in the lineup, there's going to be a couple of guys that are going to get their shots. And one of those from the San Diego Gulls, who has been one of the Gulls' best players this season, is Pavel Regenda. Pavel Regenda is one of the leaders in the Gulls locker room this season. I think he's going to at least try to prove himself in the NHL. And someone else that got called up was Glenn Gaudin, who is an AHL veteran. But I think other guys that could step up for the Ducks for, well, the rest of the season, let's be real here. The rest of the season, it's going to have to be guys like Isaac Lundestrom, who's just returned. Maybe Jakob Silfverberg can get some more goals. Maybe he'll get some more playing time. And maybe you want to see guys like Brett Leeson finally get his flowers. He's been heavily underrated for the Ducks this season. So I'd like to see him really step up for the rest of the year.
These two, players are now heading out. Who else may be available from the Anaheim Ducks between now and Friday afternoon?
I'm glad you asked. So Jakob Silfverberg is also on an expiring contract, so he could get moved. I've seen Frank Vatrano's name in a plethora of rumors. He does have one more year after this, so a year and a quarter left. All that bad. I think there are going to be some teams that would look to the Ducks lone all-star representative, and there could be some teams that would be willing to pay a hefty price. There could be another 1st-round pick involved. Who knows? There could be a very highly touted prospect. But the Ducks are looking for picks right now. And for Frank Vatrano, it'd take a first.
For more on this deal and on the Anaheim Ducks as they continue to head toward the trade deadline, tune into Locked On Anaheim Ducks on your favorite podcast app and on YouTube. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.